everyone, welcome back to Team Frostbite's Reactions for RWBY, Volume 7. We are now on Episode 10, and Britt has one thing he would like to say before this episode begins.
All you people out there doubt my incredible ability to know this show. You think, FatmanFalling's the true analysts. Oh, Raymond and his book. No one saw it coming. All you guys, Ninja.
Available now on Amazon.
Made at all.
Forged in Flames.
This episode is sponsored by the British Ninja is Always Right Foundation. There's a link in the description. It's not to my Patreon. It's not giving money to the other two. That's what you do.
Yes. We will donate it in your stead as is legally obligated. That we don't have any legal obligation. Just give us the money.
Just give us the money. But I totally called it. In the sense that made
Goose.
It was Neo. Our girl. Best girl.
Well, to be fair, everybody was Neo. Come on. Everybody was saying
everybody's
Neo.
I am quite... someone's going to edit a compilation of all the times I've said, "Oh my God, it's Neo." But you know what? I'll stick my foot in it and say that I am quite reserved on my. Oh, what if it's Neo? The only thing I say very often is I still want that scene where Neo just goes up to Ruby and stabs her in the stomach. Still waiting for it.
That would be pretty awesome.
Oh, Ruby, if only someone loved you. Wait, how are you talking? Neo, just stop talking. No. Right, well, in the last episode, things got screwy because apparently there's a hole in the wall and people were getting upset because of the snow, but Grimm freeze in the cold, but they don't. Anyway,
well, these are snow Grimm that have adapted to it.
The world of remnants, they aren't canon. They aren't canon. Yeah. Just throw those out.
They're saber-toothed tiger Grimms, you know.
And let's move on to episode 10. Everyone ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I believe so. Let's see here.
So I won't be here for the reaction. I'll be here for the reaction. I won't be here for the discussion afterwards because I gotta jet off. Busy guy. Sorry.
Yes.
But yes.
3,
so busy.
2, 1, go.
All right. They also had Wyvern Grimm last time. That's pretty rad.
Look at that.
The one joke I loved about last episode was, wait, can I do that?
Yes, that was
yes,
great.
that was pretty awesome.
Great.
Dang.
I might be a second or two behind. Mine lagged a little bit, but it's fine.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Hey, they didn't skip it.
I know, right?
Ruby,
we're actually
we
seeing some
should give them
action.
credit.
Yeah, that's right. They didn't skip.
So wait, you're telling me this is what we've been missing for the last few episodes, guys?
Chaos. Who knows?
Wow, that's a lot of elephants.
Cut to Blake that's racist.
Pounding that pussy.
Well, they're much more fragile than they were.
Splits. All right. That was absolutely necessary there, Nora.
They're going hard on the slapstick.
Yeah. Running away from an elephant. Ice Ursa.
Okay.
Brave
Oh, I
Hunters,
see.
everybody.
That's cool.
Got him.
He's using the ancient
She runs
Joestar
weirdly.
technique of just running away.
Yeah, the run cycle people were pointing out was kind of weird.
What
this was
Because she's
Good
planted, remember? That's her
punch.
power.
Yeah, but
She just
that's
plants.
whoa. What was that? Oh, just a bomb?
You guys require timed explosives to blow up one elephant Grimm. There's 50 of those minimum.
Her minds.
Okay. Fatman, what time code you at? Just wondering.
55, 56, 57.
Okay.
2 minutes.
Okay, good. There we go.
What the heck?
Also, I do love how Crow fires his weapon. It looks like he does not give a care in the world.
Yeah.
It's true.
Nora, you're meant to be in front of the people.
Wait, what do you mean Ironwood isn't doing? Where? The Atlas military is out in full force.
Oh.
I've come to make an announcement.
It's me, the
Ironwood is
loser.
a beep.
Oh, they're holding hands. Isn't that cute?
Because everyone knows their semblance,
You guys
apparently.
mean to tell me that the one with the truth-telling semblance is useful?
Yes. How's that feel? Quite good?
That was the other thing. It's like, finally.
Yeah.
Guys, he said yes!
He's doing it.
But yeah, that's... Why are you acting so surprised?
Why no?
I mean, wasn't that the
Because,
thing?
well, I agree with Oscar last time. He was like, well, I mean, it's already going to hell. You've got nothing to lose at this point.
Why not do the unambiguously good thing?
Why can't we be inflatable arm tube man? Wow.
Man, Cinder really does have the most impractical clothing.
Yeah. But what are you gonna do?
Someone help us. We've been stuck for
Civilians!
days.
From the perspective...
Attack
from
those giant evil monsters that you're not trained to fight.
Well, no, all they need to do is get happy, and then they just go away on their own.
Yo, look at Jean.
Yeah, oh, look at John.
Oh, it's
Look at
cute.
my boy Jean.
Oh, the orphans, because they don't have moms no more.
Wait, where did you learn how to...
me.
He
Oh,
told people
okay.
to walk in a direction.
Routine.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Well, he was telling them basically into an organized line so Ren could funnel his power.
Yeah, but the dude was like, where did you learn how to do that? It's like...
I guess that is the downside to spilling the beans, is that even the enemy knows what they're doing now.
Yeah. The beans are out.
Beat this threat. I fully support General Ironwood's plan.
And then it turns red. It's like,
Yeah, right?
Ironwood just shoots him.
I 90%
A
support
single elephant
Ironwood's
comes through and
plan.
just kills everyone.
Tin soldier's heart.
This is some Grinch Steals Christmas level.
Tension on mantle as long as possible.
You want more, Kate?
One on Remnant could deliver that, wouldn't it be you?
If you've made it to your local shelter. And for those of you
Oh, he's gonna go murder the hell out of that shelter.
I'm going to point at her with my tail.
still can't believe those idiots. The next target.
Oh my god, that's like the
idiots.
most
They're
emotion I've
succeeding.
ever heard out of a line biter. Ever.
Also, those
Even in
idiots,
Chibi?
they're succeeding.
What you said.
Yeah.
Then we get what we want. What the? Now go.
Also, I do like that's her volume 4 outfit.
Neo's being a diva.
No, we'll fuck later.
Neo become a maiden?
Predictable
It'd be great if Neo did.
has.
Yeah, if Neo becomes a maiden, that's terrifying.
Whoa, hey, upskirt.
Yeah. Tom, this one goes out to you.
Right?
Happy Christmas, Tom. Man.
What is that?
Hey, it's Penny.
Oh,
Yeah.
Penny. Shigreen.
I was gonna say, like, do the Grim have
Shigreen.
projectiles now? Okay, Penny's gonna come in, save their asses, and she's gonna be OP as hell.
Plant yourself.
Oh, cool.
Hey.
It's a damn rocket launcher. That's pretty cool.
Well, too bad.
She doesn't have to deal with backblast. That's really cool.
Nice.
They actually thought about her power.
Right in the face. Oh.
Wait, we just need
Oh, well, now she's a white nationalist. That's unfortunate.
cells.
She did the OK hand symbol.
What?
Unacceptable.
There.
Uh-oh.
What?
Run! It's
Oh,
Godzilla.
big
Is that
Mama.
stick boy?
How do you get food in your mouth? Too big.
Oh, he smiled. You saw it? Oh. Oh,
Wait,
Penny.
what? The angle on that does not line up, but okay.
It's Penny. Oh my god.
Wait, you gonna cut away? Or are you gonna actually show this?
Silver eyes? Silver eyes? Silver eyes?
And then she like falls asleep.
Just gonna take a nice little nap here.
So, what?
Nope.
Oh, she couldn't do it.
Broke. But she is undetermined.
Unfaltering. Undetermined is
Unfaltering,
something
yeah.
different.
Yeah. Ow, if only I was wearing armor.
Ouchie wouchie.
At this point, why do you have those strings there?
Are you okay?
Aw.
Those
I can't lose you for another 4 seasons.
That's cute. Though.
Why did they program me to feel pain?
Quick, Penny, kiss me.
play.
Why? I need to be happy.
Hey, somebody watch.
Finally.
Somebody watch the first.
I am. If I don't get White Rose, I am perfectly satisfied with nuts and bolts. All
How
right.
strong is this chick? Oh, she has the bio arms. That's right. Never mind.
Yeah, she has those bio arms.
Oh,
big bag of bones?
What's with the lighting? Why'd the lights turn on like that?
oh,
I don't know.
shoot.
Because.
Kamehameha!
Oh. Nice.
And then Ruby's gonna like hit him from the side
Pew.
because he doesn't have bones on the side.
I don't know.
I mean, that seems
Like the-
reasonable.
They're trying to cut the tusk.
like the Borbotof's probably like soft belly.
Yeah,
Or what?
it's
Or-
not
or they're cutting the
armored
tusk,
on.
okay.
It's
Wouldn't that dissolve though?
well. Oh, okay.
Oh.
All right.
Impale him on himself. Okay, I can roll with that. That was cool.
That works.
So, did the lights know when there are Grim?
Maybe.
They did their
is it over?
jobs that they're paid to do.
Penny.
Yeah.
Miss Hill,
Who said ditto?
northern outskirts are
A Pokemon.
I think it was Nora.
great work, Penny.
Wait, how did you get down to the mantle?
Make sure you get these.
Maybe it was a
Gravity.
pre-recorded message.
Oh, of course. Go off. No buddy system.
Just go off alone.
Nobody says.
Robin Hill.
Well, I mean, she served her purpose in the story.
You have quite the impact around here.
He's trying to create chaos by attacking her in private in an alley with no witnesses.
He's probably gonna like hang her body somewhere. That's what I would do. Kill her, hang the body in a very public area.
Fun.
Why don't I use bullets?
He does use bullets.
No, I meant Robin.
Sorry, Kalos.
Oh.
I really wanted to pummel you on my own, but the
Before some instead.
Wait, how did you know he was
This
gonna
is
come
close.
after you?
We just pretended
she-
to not have backup.
She was all loud about it and everything.
Again, and for no benefit to her. The subterfuge was
What kind of shit?
wasted.
I'm telling
just-
you,
Did he just go
Pomeranian.
straight? Did he just go straight to? Yeah, he did. He went straight to the freaking arena. How'd he get there? There's no security.
There's no security.
Where's security?
If
Hello,
security.
we
Okay.
own
travel.
security right now. Remember?
Well, I mean, if there was any security, it's currently outside dealing with the apocalypse.
Yeah, and he's got codes
wait,
to everything.
maybe this was a trap. Oh
Yeah.
damn!
All right. Well, okay.
This is
And
your
now
life.
just activate the arena to fucking
Lava mode.
destroy him. Yeah. The floor is lava. Dude. No.
Never mind. I'm
Iron
okay with Ironwood
Daddy.
fisticuffs.
This place is all
Yeah.
Ugh.
No, that's your puppy, man. Oh, Jesus.
different types of dust, the biome system, and of course, trolling them.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I mean,
Oh my god.
this is cool.
Ironwood's like, wait, why didn't I think of that? He is a genius after all.
Iron Daddy.
God, I have to now goose Ironwood. Great. Actually, I'm probably not gonna goose anything other than the
Also,
early sections of
Ironwood
the video.
announced its presence instead of sniping him from the roof like you should have done.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, I mean,
It looked like he was about to sing a song for him.
I don't remember these abstract forms being part of the. Why, if you're turning into a
These are new
communications tower,
biomes.
would you leave that still functional at all?
Yeah.
Hey, James.
These are the things they talked about cutting from
Oh, damn.
What is that?
the Sun
many-
versus
oh,
He has
Nora
his own
fight.
revolver.
That's his own revolver.
That's pretty cool. We got a pistol duel now, folks.
Oh, that was.
Okay.
10 paces and shoot. Who wrote it?
Who wrote it?
Anywho, that's about as much time as I had time for.
All right.
All right.
Brit.
Get back
I
to your party.
apologize.
Take your inspiration. Yeah, I don't know.
Happy dragoning
long
and
and-
dungeoning.
Prosper and live long, something like that.
All right.
Oh. Kersey and Carrie.
Kersey and Carrie.
That's
This
cool.
was a-
I'll
this
see
was
ya
a-
next week.
See you, man.
Yeah, see you next week, Britt.
So, Kersey and Carrie, because I like this all right. I like not, you know,
This was-
A flowed to B, but like, I
This was a huge improvement over last week.
yeah, where it was just sort of like A flowed to B, but B was a deflated balloon. Oh yeah, you weren't there for the absolute bashing me and Fatman gave the last episode, Dashie. You weren't there.
Oh,
to
I
be the
started
positive
watching.
spin.
Yeah, I started watching it today.
Yeah.
I didn't finish it though. Yeah, you guys. Yeah.
We were not satisfied with the last episode. This episode, we're moderately satisfied with.
And cool stuff. Like
I
Go ahead.
I still think that, like, John should. I'm sorry. I'm just like, I just scanned past the John instructing people part, and I do kind of like what they were working with there. The idea is like he kept everyone in a straight line so Ren could better focus his powers on them. But like, it just made me think back to the whole fact that it should be Ren doing this like himself. Like, this should be like, why are they giving this moment to John? When like it would make much more sense if the earlier scene had been with Ren and Nora, and you know now it was Ren stepping up to be the protector of the people, kind of like his backstory implies he wants to be, and like all of his actions imply. It feels really weak that they're giving this to Jean.
Well, Jean needs to be there to amplify Ren.
No, he could still be there, but I feel like Ren should be the one taking the lead on this one. But you know.
Where did you learn how to tell people to walk in a straight line? What? That's on the level of like, oh shit, you actually can attack people while they're standing still.
Well, no,
Not really. Go ahead.
It's just like instructing them because it's not something that you would think applies in this. It's sort of like, all right, we're getting you out of here, everyone. Hands on each other's shoulders, walk in a straight line. Like, literally just instructing them to do that is the important part of that.
And it was
It's
quick
not-
and it was fast and everybody paid attention and said yes, sir, and that's it. It's not about like walking in a line. It was just like boom, 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 boom. There you go.
Yeah, it's not like they're doing the Mamba. I mean, that would be way more amusing if they were doing the Mamba.
Congo. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah, I
dun.
mean,
Hey,
if he got them all to like, you know, dance in a conga line, then the guy could have been like, where'd you learn how to teach conga dancing?
Like, spontaneously
But it's just
teach
like-
it. Damn.
Yeah. This is the musical theater background.
So
I
what,
knew those electives paid
what
off.
were you saying about the colors, Simon? Were you saying something about the
colors?
colors with the Grim?
Oh, the lights turned red when there are Grim on the street, and I'm like, wait, is there? Do the lights have some system that informs them? Oh, hey, there are Grim here. Let's turn the lights red. I guess the same thing happened in episode 1
Also,
when it's just like, oh,
I'm going to point this out, but red is a very energizing color. It's a color that specifically...
Danger.
It's danger. It also triggers our food response. Like, when you see red, you get hungrier. Now, if you wanted to deal with the Grim, a better light color would be blue. They actually do this in Japan, where they have blue streetlights at night, and blue as a color is very calming and soothing, and it actively deters, or passively deters crime and violent activity. And so it's a very calming. So if you wanted to defend against Grim, no better solution than to have blue lights everywhere.
Right. I mean, it would make sense, but as Fatman, I mean, as both really pointed out, like, that's not practiced. And it's like, how is that not practiced? This is the world you live in. practice being calm. You know,
Now, I could understand maybe they're a little
exactly.
behind the psychology of colors, or maybe it's different in this universe where red is a calming color instead, but I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, because that would be that would be the non dumb way to handle this. Yeah, just there's so many things that are like they've been dealing with this since before humanity as they know it existed.
right.
Like
It should just be common
Grimm
sense.
have always been there as far as anyone who's ever been alive knows. So the fact that they're so ill-equipped and just uneducated about the really obvious ways to not like necessarily defeat Grimm, but to like pacify people or like quell the potential for sadness.
Yeah, the fact that
is
there was even, like,
unbelievable.
riots, or at least somebody told us there were supposed to be riots. Anyway, the fact that there's the word riot exists in this world, it's like, really, like, come on, like,
Literally, riots should be wiped out by Grimm before the person could invent the word riot.
yes.
Yes, exactly.
But the going back to this, like, and then this episode further, this entire volume has basically been a testament to the fact that basically putting the final nail in the coffin for anyone still defending the worlds of Remnant. Because God, the worlds of Remnant are freaking useless.
I
'Cause
thought
it's like,
it was retcon. I thought it was said it's not canon. Or am I mistaken?
no, I don't think that. I don't think they've come out and discredited it entirely. Have they?
The thing that they said is that they explained it very poorly. They didn't retcon anything. They just explained it wrong in the first
So
place.
in the video they made to explicitly explain it, they explained it poorly.
Mean.
Yes, that's what they said. They said that like the whole thing was just a bad job at explaining the concept that they never changed, which like fine, but that does not help anyone understand the story better.
You gotta maybe do a do-over on that explanation, because I don't know like exactly how the cold is supposed to. I didn't understand how cold deterred the Grimm in the first place. And now I'm even more confused because it seems like they've molded with the cold. They actually have ice in their bodies. Like how does that work?
What do you mean the cold deterred Grimm? Where did
That
it
was
say
in, that
that?
was in the world of Remnant. That Atlas was that mantle was protected naturally by the cold conditions that the Grimm couldn't survive in.
Really?
Yeah, they said that, like, Vacuo has the heat, and then Atlas has the cold, and that protects them from Grimm. I guess they also said that Atlas had, like, mountains that Grimm couldn't climb.
Right.
I mean,
The
Grimm can
terrains.
fly, but,
Well, yes.
found a lot
Grimm
of
can
good that did them.
spawn.
Depends on the Grimm. Also, what was that? A pterodactyl? Like that? I don't know.
What's
Some,
time code?
some sort of
Dinosaur?
dragonish
What time code?
dude.
At the beginning of fucking.
Well, I mean, there was a big one in,
There's two.
like, the last episode.
Yeah, they're like prehistoric. Like, they got mammoths, woolly mammoths, saber-toothed tiger. Like,
I mean, I like the aesthetic of these Grimm. They're definitely cool.
and I guess the big the thick boy there, gets smarter and they try to stay consistent with that. I don't know how you guys feel about that or not, but
I mean, like, the action in this episode I felt was very, very fine. I thought it was pretty good.
I liked Blake, like, swerving and making the smaller Grimm, like, stagger on her clones and then get stepped on.
Yeah,
that was
cool.
really funny.
That was
I was like,
it's a very smart use
Go
of
get
her
'em.
power. Like there are times where there's like you can tell there's something really clever going on, and this just reaffirms to me. I think Carrie is probably the best of the writers right now.
yeah.
Which for a published writer, the Kiersey, that's kind of disappointing. But well, at least we haven't had the poop garden yet. So that's a point.
Well,
in your favor.
Kiersey doesn't write. I mean, Kiersey's, like, experience is not in
Action, yeah.
visuals. Like, she's not a writer for visual stuff.
I guess maybe that's my difference in writing style, because whenever I write, I always imagine it like it's a movie, and that's why, like, especially my initial drafts come out very not script-like, but very detailed in how movement happens, and how like I'm always very very particular how like a character shifts and how a character places themselves in the scene, where they place themselves in an environment. I'm always very keen to detail the environment around it. Like my prose gets very chunky in that way, and I have to actively go through and try and streamline it because a lot of it can end up being unnecessary. But I could definitely see like a writer who's not used to being that detailed about environments, who just kind of very broad strokes in her descriptions, like what I read, struggling with having very concrete rules to deal with. And in fact, that, hopefully speaking, experience on this show helps Kiersey be a better writer, because like I think she's decent. She's kind of weak right now, but she has the spark. I can tell she has the spark that's needed to be a good writer. But it's
experience on this show?
Well, experience in the fact that, hey, suddenly you have to deal with all three dimensions, and you have to be absolutely sure where things are physically and doing certain things. And they've been pretty good about this season. I don't think they've really done a lot of poor choreography. So
I mean, like one thing I've noticed about this season is that the cameras do a lot of like spinnies. Like they really kind of like take advantage of like the 3D space, and they're like, "Hey, look at us, we're doing a swirl."
Like spinnies are like following the person, or like
there's a lot of camera movement. He's saying basically.
Yeah. And that's something that Monty did a lot. Like if you look at like Haloid or his earlier stuff, there's a lot of like, because like if you're doing 2D, you have to draw the background from 24 different angles if you want to do a 360. Or I mean, you have to draw the background from a lot of different angles if your 360 takes more than a second.
At least
like
360. Degree.
Every frame a painting, you got to redraw the background, unless you just want to like warp it or whatever, like working in 3D. It's like super convenient to just be able to like whoa, and Monty used to do that a lot in his early work, to the point where a lot of people hated his early work because they're like, oh, this is disorienting.
But I thought it added a lot of style, and I really appreciate that they're actually trying to go back to that, trying to emulate that a little bit. You gonna say, Dash?
Yeah.
No. I enjoy that. I like that follow through. Like it gives it, the point of view where you're in it with them. Like it's not like, aerial view and stuff.
Now let's talk about the endings, because I'm not so hot on the ending of these episodes. Is sort of like, how did they know that Tyrion was going to go for Robin? Because they obviously set up an ambush for him. And how did they know that Watts was immediately going to did they announce the tower? I think we were talking over that. Did they announce that they were working on the tower?
Let's see here.
I believe they did.
Okay.
She definitely like made it hold on, I'm looking at it now.
Let's see. So yeah, with that, it just seemed like. How did you know that they were specifically? My bigger one is with Robin, because I can imagine like when all this stuff going down, you want to have someone ready to protect the new relay tower, and more than likely, Watts was going to be like, "There's something more going on here," and he'd figure it out and get there. Mm-hmm. I can understand.
Ironwood did say it. He said it on the screen. Mm-hmm.
So
it's ready to launch and whatever, and then he went directly to his computers or whatever.
All right, so here's what I want to happen with that. They need to fight all the way outside. They need to fight during the launch. They go up in the mid-atmosphere, and then Ironwood tackles Watts off the tower.
Okay.
And it's a free-fall fight between the two of them.
And then we learn that Watts is a bird faunus, and he spreads his wings and flies away.
His mustache enlarges to become wings.
Yes! Yes!
Someone draw that! Someone draw that!
This entire time, his mustache has just been just huge eagle wings.
Oh, wow.
It's a real pain in his neck, but it works. But so no, but it's really just how did they know he was going to go after Robin? Like, what was?
Yeah,
like,
I'm looking at it right now. She's on TV. They are paying attention. She's talking about.
Doesn't this lend a lot of credence to the betrayal theory?
Possibly. Do you think what's his face is going to turn on Robin and Clover?
Clover.
Because he could be like, "It's my good luck. I got a feeling. I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me.
Okay,
that Tyrion is going to attack Robin."
Yeah. Okay, real quick to.
But then he's like, "Haha."
Back to Raymond. Robin says on screen. She's talking about the shelters, and then she says something. And for those of you, for area whatever, I'll be seeing you personally there now. And
I mean, that's a big supposition of like we're going to lure him out by basically like saying I'm going to be in this place at this time. I guess I could kind of work, but that's like going on kind of a limb there.
Well, it's it's 5:25. 5.
Yeah. No, I remember the quote. It's just like
5:20.
My question is like, how do they know that Tyrion and Watts hadn't already left the city by that point?
I mean, better to say it and not need to say
what
it.
if Tyrion had gone with Watts to the tower?
It's like then Ironwood would have been double screwed because he's too dumb to use the Amity defenses to his benefit.
Yeah.
I really wanted it to be like, like Watts is like, "Ooh, I'm the tech guy," and Ironwood's like, "Oh, I'm the punch guy," and then for them to like switch places, and then Ironwood's like, "I'm gonna tech you to death," and he's like, "I gotta punch myself to life." Like that would have been
Punch
like
me up,
a
punch
cool...
me up inside.
But like he just jumps down and then Watts just like, "Oh hey, I'm gonna do the Amity thing now."
It's like
whatever, they want their fight, they'll have their fight, I suppose.
Yeah,
nothing I say will stop them.
I think it would have been a little more interesting if like maybe at first Ironwood had like just like gone for the button for like instant lava pit of death, and then Watts was like, "Oh ho ho, I predicted that, and I already pre-hacked this place." Like something a little more like showing Ironwood being proactive and smart instead of just being I'm gonna beat a man.
Well, I mean, another thing why he didn't just shoot him, and who knows what Watts has like placed now that he like owns all technology and all passwords and all access to everything. Like maybe he sets stuff up and if you kill me, you won't get into blah 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 or whatever.
Wouldn't it be better for Watts if the tower actually made it into the sky? Because now that he can hack it, like, wouldn't being able to hack the entire network be like a huge boon? Like, he could just fire this back on everyone.
But I don't think. Well, he couldn't do it from the ground.
Well,
he needed to touch the floor or whatever. The floor's locked.
Well, the Atlas systems changed, and they made a whole big point about that in the earlier episodes. The mantle systems didn't change, so he could hack those because he knew the code, but he couldn't hack the mantle systems.
But how is how is he hacking the arena, Amity Arena? Because that supposedly runs on Atlas's systems.
Well,
because
I mean, it's like
Jacques,
80
right?
years old.
Because Jacques gave him all the passwords and shit and stuff.
You see, this is the problem with hacking. You have to pay very close attention to what technology runs on what, or else it's going to get confusing.
I mean, I was just assuming that like the Amity Coliseum has existed for 80 years, because that's how long they've been doing the tournament, and they just didn't update it the same way they didn't update Mantle.
You see, I imagine like the old Amity Arena didn't fly, and like they had to like manually bring in the lava. They had to like just
just a train of guys with buckets and a volcano. I don't get paid enough. It's a living.
instead of the Olympic torch, they have the lava bucket run. No, so yeah.
At what point did Neo? Oh wait, I guess Neo was at the dinner, so she would have seen Ruby's new outfit. But then, like,
she's not wearing.
Cinder.
I didn't think she's wearing Ruby's new outfit. She's
Yeah,
She's wearing Ruby's new outfit.
Same haircut, same hair and everything for.
Yeah. Same 2/3 of a skirt.
I thought it was her old one. I was wrong.
That shot though, I was like, hey.
I know. What was that? That's just straight up the thighs. Straight up the thighs. Not even pretending. Well, that's not what everybody wanted. That's the thumbnail. It's gonna get demonetized. Sorry, Raymond. You got to take one for the team. You got to put upskirt in the thumbnail.
Well,
You have to put Tom's face
January revenue anyway.
next to it.
Nobody's gonna
Put
miss
Tom's
it.
face next to it. You have to.
Yeah.
Like a shocked face. Like, oh.
How many times do you think that Cinder and Neo have had hate sex? Like as with Neo as Ruby? Like, how many times do you think that's happened?
I imagine every single time. Sometimes it's Ruby, sometimes it's Salem.
Sometimes it's both. That one gets really weird.
Yeah. So sometimes she turns into Ozma. It's just this is just the perfect relationship for Cinder.
Ooh, Raven, a couple of times. Wait,
has to be. That's how she takes out her pent up aggression.
Hashtag the entire team, whole team, whatever.
Hashtag whole team. Exactly.
It's just Cinder on the couch and just like 5 Neos behind her.
All right, somebody make that.
Actually, I wanted to bring this up. We actually did get fan art, and I will try to remember to put it up on screen. But we have
I saw it yesterday.
The wonderful RWBY Dino did for us Atlas Emperor Penny, based upon
I saw that.
the idea of Penny taking the relic of creation and just becoming an unending tyrant. So thank you for that, Raptor B Dino, which is B-A Bafuk. Bafuk, B-A-P-H-U-K, U-C, sorry, not UK, U-C. 1010 on Twitter, so go follow him. Yes, you were saying, Dashie.
There's also another one by Rixarts. I can never pronounce that right. He did a gender bet, Dashie, and then he was working on a gender bet. I don't know. I've been like really, really ill this past couple weeks, and I remember in passing I saw a gender bet Dashie. I'm like, oh, Rixarts, and then I'm like, oh, that's right. he did that. So thank you, Rixarts, for that. I think he said in the tweet, I believe, that he was working on gender bets everyone's. So.
Oh, I can't wait.
We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, do we have any more things to bring up, or shall we move on to questions?
No questions. It is.
Okay. Remember, folks, by donating to our Patreon, you can get access to mine or Fatman's Patreon, or Dashie's Patreon as well. For $1 or more, you get access to the Team Frostbite Discord server, where you can ask questions every single Saturday. Or every single day that we record. We actually put up a note the morning of, and we let people ask their questions, provided they've watched the episodes. So if you're interested in that, check it out. So the first one is from Cambriel, who asks, Ruby's surprisingly not cringy episode. Watt's powers are creative, but why did Ironwood confront him alone? I get the idea that they want a cool boss fight, but boss fights don't make any sense in the world of these stories. How would you have set that up to make it make sense, if there is a way?
I already said he uses the Amity things, you know, the actual literal functionality of Amity to his advantage.
Yeah,
but then Watts hacks it, and he's like, "Oh shit!" and then they have to fight.
Yeah, and it's not like he wouldn't have thought of that being done. He just thought he could end the fight before Watts could hack it. And like that sort of thing happens. That's how I would have fixed it. And yeah, I agree. Unless Ironwood somehow has a backup plan in his pocket, which I don't know.
That's what I was saying. Like, we don't know. Like,
we don't know where Winter is.
There might be something else.
We don't know where Winter is.
Oh, there you go. Mm-hmm.
So she's possibly in the cards. For all we know, Penny's gonna show up at the end of it because she can fly. She can just get right up there. So we'll see. Young Kaiser asks, will you guys call it the next episode Ironwood vs. Watts boxing match 2020? Yes. Aiden Blitz asks, is it still too late for Iron Man to save Christmas from the Grinch brothers? No, I don't think so. He's doing a pretty good job of it. No. Master Poppers asks, high chance of this coming up during the reaction or soon after, but thoughts on RWBY not using Silver Eyes on the Pachyderm? She tried. She tried.
Yeah,
she tried. Something happened that was.
it was loud.
That's it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
She's like, think happy thoughts, and then it was just like,
because like the only time she's ever used it willingly, or let's say not willingly, but like the two times that she's used it effectively, at least under her own power, were being instructed by Maria, who basically kind of coached her through it and like helped her focus. And the second time, she literally froze time using the relic in order to give her enough time to focus. And even that wasn't like full power. So the fact of the matter is, she's still good and new at this. She's not perfect at it. And I'm glad they put that in there. That's one of my favorite parts of this episode is like, she's not experienced with it yet.
Right.
Also, I love the word pachyderm.
The part with when Ruby was like, I have a plan, and like Penny after like 5 seconds, okay, what is it? Like that, like
tell me.
that reminded me of like you guys, where it's like, are you gonna tell us your plan? Like chapter 8, volume 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was every time RWBY had a plan.
Yeah.
She didn't actually say it. They just ran off.
So that was
it was usually to
perfect,
Weiss.
I like
And
to
they're like,
imagine
oh.
that like that happens every time she says that. Is that it's like I have a plan, and like 5 seconds, like we don't see the 5 seconds get cut. But there's 5 seconds of silence, and the person's like,
off screen.
so what's the plan?
It's like, you can't just say that and not say it.
Well, no, I mean, like, even in volume 1, it's like you watch Weiss just like yeet away.
Yeah.
Well, she comes
It's
back.
like, oh.
She comes back. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask. What is the plan?
Yeah, I forgot to ask. Did you say the plan? I wasn't listening. It's like Peter Griffin, right? It's like, oh, I just had the craziest idea, and then he puts his hand in the waffle iron. Okay, any ideas on how to deal with the thing we're talking
It's like,
about?
doing a cut, like it's like, okay, so what's the plan? Well, I don't know yet. I was hoping for the cutaway to get to it.
Well, my question is for
RWBY,
you guys.
we don't
like,
have cutaways.
for you guys, like, what did you think about that? Like, do you think they really were like, okay, guys, yeah, our bad, here, take this, it's kind of funny, or did you think it was just like a comedy thing, or were they like calling themselves out, kind of, or just?
I mean, if this is a continuation of like the way that they treated the first episode of Volume 6, with Sun being like, "I'm the worst leader ever," I think it was on purpose.
Okay.
I think they did a lot of that in Volume 6, where they like directly addressed some of the more obvious criticisms of the earlier seasons, and that's one of them. They're just going through my reviews chronologically.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, so that to me was definitely, I saw as I was watching it, I saw Fat Man like, yes, there they go pleasing me again.
Blade Charge asks, everyone can answer this, and I'm not sure if anyone, what's your opinion of RWBY being one of the most watched anime in Japan? That is, I do not believe the case. If I recall correctly from the last statistics I heard, especially since I don't think did Volume 6 not get ported, or was it Volume 5 didn't get ported to Japan?
Well, if Volume 5 didn't get ported, that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
No, I don't doubt it.
I do.
Because it's a long-running show.
I do, because I saw very little, if any, merchandise. I don't think I saw a single lick of RWBY merchandise while I was there in Shinjuku. Or in Shibuya, or in any of the shopping districts, mind you. I went all over Tokyo. I did not see, and I was looking for RWBY stuff because I wanted.
Online
I mean,
stores.
okay, being one of the watched doesn't necessarily
Fair. Fair.
I mean, there's probably a lot of like like, you know, like the ones we're thinking about are probably make up such a small percentage. Like the ones that get like insanely popular probably don't even incorporate like 5% of the anime in Japan.
Well,
something to like rise to the top of like, you know,
what I was
like, you
going
know,
to say about that though is that as I understand it, RWBY started to tank in Japan the minute they left Beacon. Because you'll notice this with a trend with a lot of anime, they take place in high school. That's because there's a lot of culture around kind of romanticizing high school life in anime, because like a lot of people aren't satisfied with their lives in the office place, as I understand it. Like they get into real office work, they get into real work, and they kind of pine for those glory days of high school where they had more freedom, they had more time to themselves, they had more basically a point to get into higher, wackier hijinks. But now that they've left the school, it's kind of waned the popularity of the show, because then it has to stand on not the school dynamics, but like the combat dynamics that weren't very well fleshed out, and the world building dynamics, which were even worse fleshed out. And suddenly, I think, as I understand it, Volume 4 was the last one to get dubbed in Japan.
Really?
I think Volume 4 was. Let me double check that. Let's see. RWBY.
Yeah, because I don't know numbers.
Japanese
I'm
dub.
on it.
Let's see. Volume 5. Yeah, okay, here we go. What happened to the Volume 5 Japanese dub? Volume 6 is finished, yet there's nowhere on the Japanese dub for Volume 5. Yeah, and then the next post was, probably didn't get one. The change from the school setting outside of to outside fighting was a turnoff, I heard. Yeah, no. It's looking like there is no Volume 5 Japanese dub. Oh, RWBY Wiki, let's see. No, that's a forum post. Oh, Crunchyroll. That's just Volume 5 dated. Nope. Yeah, so we don't have anything. No Volume 5 in Japanese.
Well, good for them.
Yeah.
They got out when there was still hope.
So it is almost strictly speaking, why would it be the most watched anime in any kind of most watched in Japan if it hasn't been updated for 3 years? Where are you getting this information, Blade Charge?
Yeah, we would. Yeah, Blade Charge. We would definitely need like some, like, solid like evidence or whatever of numbers.
Yeah, where
seems like it's all over the place.
Show us the numbers. Master Poppers asks thoughts on Penny's Kamehameha. It's no different than her normal Kamehamehas that have been in the series.
Oh, Kamehameha. Okay.
Yeah. Hi, I'm
solid.
Aiden asks. Oh wait, no, that's it. He's responding to the floof responding to Blade Charge.
That's
Peter
why you
Flynn.
look at the name.
Peter Flynn asks, compared to the stakes of previous volumes, how high or how low do the stakes feel in this more recent episode of Season 7? Compared to last episode, the stakes are actually decently high.
Yeah, I know. We can actually see people, like, with our own two eyes. We don't just have implied people off screen who we're supposed to care about for some unknown reason.
Unlike the last episode, it's not, oh yeah, we're just going to arrest you outright. Okay, that build up was for nothing. Dashie.
Yeah, and this episode, you definitely saw the people getting spanked too. Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah, I enjoyed
especially
that.
Cinder.
Yeah.
Bringing that back.
No, see, that one was implied off screen.
Datboy666 asks thoughts on the new Grimm and how much of a threat they seem to pose. I mean, like,
I don't think these are New Grimm.
these are new Grimm, but like they're like just modified versions of older Grimm, and like the threat they pose is no different than Grimm have always posed, which is dependent solely upon what the writers desire.
And they pose nude, right? No, they had the dinosaur one we were just talking about, the flying one, and also this one. This is it's not a woolly mammoth, it's a Megatrona, blah, blah, blah. And this one, the thick boy, seemed older because he actually was thinking when he, flung Penny Britt was like, at this point, why keep the strings? It's like, oh, jeez. She didn't learn a lesson.
Actually, why don't they give her swords hover technology? Like, they obviously have hover technology, but, like, why the
You
strings?
think that they would be able to tell how dangerous having those things are after what happened last time?
So let's see. Katrinia.
I laughed because of Fat Man totally like saying like Penny's weapon's really dangerous, you know, and then like I think it was like episode 3 of this volume, calling Penny a basic bitch.
Dangerous to her. Dangerous to her. That was my point. Her own weapons took her out. You'd think that they would change them.
All right.
They're like, well, Magnet Girl
didn't
died.
Say dangerous to her. Okay.
I did say dangerous to her. I did.
All right, children,
Check the
settle
tapes.
down.
Check the tapes.
No, I'm not doing that. It's more work for me. Katrinius asks, how do you feel about the possibility of Neo versus Oscar fight? Do you guys think Neo will disguise herself as RWBY or any of the other main cast to trick Oscar? And do you think Ozpin will make an appearance before the season end? Ozpin will make an appearance before the season's end. I mean, Neo versus Oscar could work, but he'd get his ass handed to him.
Yeah, and also,
No,
she needs to
remember
talk.
now. He's on Mercury's fighting level, guys.
Only when Ozpin's in control, I thought.
Well, why you say that? Why you say?
Because Volume 5 commentary.
Okay.
He's not ready to take on. He's on Hazel's level when Ozpin is in control. He's on Mercury's level when Oscar is in
Mercury,
control.
the son of a trained assassin. All right, farm boy. Okay. All right.
A vital festival finalist.
Do you think Neo will disguise herself as RWBY? Maybe they'll use that to push Rose Garden more. I really hope they don't.
We saw it.
Like, seriously, just like give me White Rose, give me Nuts and Bolts. Either of those I'd be happy with, but not
Rose Garden.
not Rose Garden. I don't feel it. I do not feel it.
So then your second is Nuts and Bolts?
Yes.
Top ships. Mm-hmm.
What?
Ships. Like, that's your second?
That's a decent second.
White Rose and then Nuts and Bolts?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a good secondary to have if White Rose is not in play.
No.
Because
I enjoy
RWBY and Penny
them.
are really
Enjoy
cute. And I do like. I was just watching what your RWBY ship says about you, which is.
That dude. Yeah, he's pretty
That's
fun.
great. It's like, I think it was that you just want Penny to be happy, or you've taken RWBY's love of weapons to its logical extreme. And do I think Ozpin will make an appearance before the end of the season? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think it matters.
Who's the Oscar? McCormick? Is that his name? Shane.
Yeah.
Shannon
McCormick. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, he's. I guess they just he's out of their pay grade now because he hasn't been in this entire volume. I'm kidding. Floof asks, "What are your thoughts on Nora doing?"
They better be able to afford it after all those people they laid off.
What are your thoughts on Nora doing a superhero landing but doing the splits at the same time at 231, thus breaking both
That was
of her
dumb.
legs? That was dumb. Like.
That was them trying to be like, we need slapstick, quick, make Nora do something that they didn't like.
I think she should have.
I don't even think they
I
cared
think she should have
about it.
gone, ow, my butt, like something like that, something cute like that to be like, okay, not doing that again.
Yeah, if they had lampshaded it, it would have been better. But honestly, it's just like they wanted slapstick, so they did that.
What do you guys think about Cinder's little tantrum over there and the acting?
I still don't know what Cinder wants. The acting was better than non-chibi Cinder.
I was gonna say the acting was better than anything Cinder has ever done. That doesn't mean it was good. Because that's the thing is I found that delivery still very. The thing is, there are some natural barriers you run up against as a voice actor. There are some emotions that you just can't hit, and some people are just very poor at it. Some people have a very monotone delivery in their own natural cadence, and thus make very bad voice actors because they have such a completely limited range. They can only play one specific type of character. I get the feeling
I mean, just look at Peter Dinklage. Like, he's an excellent actor, but put him in front of a microphone and he's like, he's
Jessica
speaking.
Negri, I do not think is a good voice actress. She might be the nicest, sweetest person in the world. I get that people think she's a bombshell, an absolute bombshell body-wise. I can understand why.
Actually, a lot of people hate her because she crops out watermarks on things she posts on Twitter.
Oh. Well, I mean, regardless, I'm just trying to say, like, I don't know much about her beyond this role, but what I'm seeing from this role, she is not a good voice actress, and I wish they had just replaced her with someone else, because that was the most emotive she has ever been, and it sounded hollow. It sounded super forced.
Yeah, it sounded like an edgy teen. Like, she was like, "Mom," and then for this powerful maiden to sit there and like have a tantrum, and then all Neo has to do is roll her eyes. I don't like it. Like, what?
She's being outacted by someone who's not talking.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a burn if I'd ever heard one.
And I don't know what she wants. Like, we were confused in our reaction. We were confused as to what she found, like, quote unquote, found at the Schnee Manor. And then, like, later on, like, into the discussion, I kind of came to the conclusion that it must have been Ruby, because nothing else at Schnee Manor, unless they're, going with this, like, Willow is the Winter Maiden, and Neo somehow found that out. Unless they're going for that, it had to be Ruby, because that's the only thing that makes sense. But now it's like, oh, we found the thing, we have to get the thing. And Neo's like, but what about Ruby? So it wasn't Ruby, and she found something else at Schnee Manor that is relevant to their cause.
She found the secret camera in Willow's room, and it had some real hot stuff on there with her lovers.
She's always so covered up. We gotta determine who best MILF is.
No, but in this episode, Neo turns into Ruby, and then Cinder reacts with, "No, I gotta get what I need before what I want," or something like that. Like, so. What is it?
So I think she is going for the Winter Maiden.
So I still don't know. Right.
We don't. Yeah, that's bottom line. We don't know.
Yeah, it's just we need the numbers. Akko Platypus asks, haven't seen the episode, so instead I'll ask, does the season so far give you any reason to think bringing new writers on was beneficial to the series? Personally, I feel their contributions have been inconsequential at most and cringy at worst. When you needed to bring on a new writer was back in volume 2 or 3. That was when you needed new writers. That's when you needed to bring in more experienced and more capable writers than Miles and Carrie at that point. I think at this point, Miles and Carrie have actually been at this long enough that they match the quality of writing by Kiersey and Eddie at this point, because they have just as much, if not more, experience in writing and dealing with criticism. Because Kiersey, I don't know if she's responded to any of the criticisms against her book. I don't know if she has. I don't know what she's planning. I don't know what she's doing with that kind of stuff. But like at this point, it seems like she's either Eddie and her are either on the same level as Miles and Carrie, and thus delivering similar quality content, or they're worse. In Eddie's case, being the most cringy. So it's like,
yeah, I think the actual, bringing on a writer, like, as a mechanical addition to the team wouldn't really help make RWBY any better. What you need to do is bring on a new, writer as a creative addition to the team. You need somebody else to actually, you need somebody who's not Miles or Carrie to come in and tell the story better. You don't really need someone to write the one-to-one scenes better.
yeah.
That's what I think the writers, the Eddie and Kiersey, they came in, and there are better one-to-one scenes. There are better like tendons in between the scenes. They're connected. We're getting a skeleton instead of like a pile of like mush and bones. So, but at the same time, the story they're telling is so inconsequential. They had to like introduce a bunch of new characters again, which is the thing that they should never have to do. And like a lot of this is like ruinous.
You know, that does raise the question.
Inherently.
Why couldn't the Aesops have actually been characters we knew from previous volumes? Why not bring Neon and Flint as these new higher ups that, after their experiences at Beacon, kind of got accelerated through the program and are now some of the most elite in the school because they've had super decent, super good first-hand experience in things. Like I could easily see Neon filling in the role of Marrow. I could see Flint kind of filling in the role of Stretchy Arm Guy. I mean, because God knows Stretchy Arm Guy doesn't have any kind of personality to speak of.
It's Vine, by the way.
Vine. Do you guys care about Borderlands 3?
No.
Like, no. Yeah. So they
Spoilers for Borderlands 3, apparently, people.
Huh?
No, I'm telling the people that are watching.
Yeah, they're not really spoilers, but they are Dashie spoilers.
Okay.
In Borderlands 2, they gave all 4 Vault Hunters prominent roles in the story. And then in Borderlands 3, they didn't give prominent roles to all 4 Vault Hunters or all 6 Vault Hunters from Borderlands 2. And I was annoyed by that. But they did add a bunch of new characters that could have easily been old characters. So they're adding stuff like almost at the expense of other stuff, and that really feels like what the Aesops are.
Okay.
Because, like, Clover is just aspirational for Crow. Hare is just aspirational for Ruby. Vine is, like, just aspirational for Ren and Jean. Big Girl is aspirational for Nora. The other one is a dog.
And ironically, because he's not aspirational for anyone, he's the most interesting character of the crew.
He's supposed to be for Sean.
Marrow?
I suppose, but like Vine gets so many more scenes with Jean. But yeah, and it's like all of those things make sense to have. And the problem lies in the earlier volumes of never setting up any aspirations for these characters, or like setting up aspirations that aren't related to what the plot is. So they've kind of done a quick fix, just like a patch, like a band-aid on the story by just here characters, boom.
For the record, we are kind of already answering the last question, which is All-Star God asking, what do you think of the volume so far? So we're already covering that. I hope you're happy with that, All-Star.
Yeah. It seems like Eddie and Kiersey served as a band-aid for the story.
Wound.
And yeah, not necessarily because me and Raymond talked a lot about how we would fix RWBY in the last reaction, and we had different ideas to say the least.
I mean, mine was very long term. Like, if you didn't give to give the shorthand, I had 2 different options. One is you let me reboot the series from the ground up, which is the most preferable option, or 2, you allow me to put several characters in a coma and have the entire events of the series be a prolonged dream to serve some kind of like metaphysical purpose, and then like have it slowly lead up to waking up from the dream and continuing the story from there, but more coherently.
So basically Raymond was torn between the Spider-Man route and the Inception route, and I was just like, we'll just keep going. We'll just keep going. Just don't look back. Like we've already asked the audience to accept so many retcons and plot holes that trying to fix them or trying to like lean back into them wouldn't really help. So just go on. So just go on forward. You know, take the characters we have and give them things to do. Like as of now,
Like
because the characters
Promos.
right now still don't have much to do. Like they're huntsmen. Like their goal has been met, so they don't have a lot.
Well,
They
you
never
think
had a
they're
lot,
gonna-
but now they're just doing the job.
You think they're gonna betray, or at least one is. So I got the shoe and the ketchup. Remember?
It could still happen.
Yeah, I could. You're right.
I mean, at this point, it is significantly unlikely that anyone other than Clover or Marrow will do anything interesting. I still think Clover could betray. Because, I mean, how else did he know where Tyrion was going after Robin?
I mean, like, my question is, how did Tyrion? I guess Tyrion did know. Sorry, I don't know. It's just like, but what else has he betrayed at this point? Because he hasn't betrayed anything else. Is he working for? Is there a third faction involved? Like that's what I'm wondering. Is like, is there another faction they're trying to introduce? Like, if there's a traitor inside, what has he been betraying towards? Because it hasn't been working with Watts or Tyrion, because then they would have known from the outset about the tower, wouldn't they? So it's like, so then, like, if he's not betraying for them, it could be Cinder and Neo, but like that makes, I mean, they've had no connection whatsoever by that we can tell. There's nothing to tie them together, so it's like. And like I do like that Arnold was pointing out, you know, the rules of 4 in RWBY, the quote unquote rules of 4, and the fact that Aesop's violate that with rules of 5. But it's like, it's not enough.
Yeah, all the bad guys have been odd number teams, like, except for, you know, Juniper, who was a 3-member team for a while.
Well, because Juniper was
Unless there's, like, serious about-
it was Ranger for a time,
I suppose.
and then.
But then Wub would have been would have been a 3-member team. It would have been 3 1-member teams.
Oh Lord. So yeah, this is so overall this volume has been so this volume itself has been better. It's not the best volume. I think that still either goes to 4 or 6 thus far. The action has been really good. I'll say that. I've been really enjoying the action in the show. It's definitely improved. And I do like they're kind of homaging Monty with a lot more work. But overall, this is probably up there as 2nd or 3rd best volume, maybe? I don't know. How would you rate that, Fatman, so far?
I
Middle of the road,
would
honestly.
I would probably put it above 5. I don't know if I'd put it above 2 yet.
Oh, really?
I don't see, because like with Ironwood telling everyone, it seems like they're moving towards Endgame, which could be great, but like the way they got there was so.
I mean,
if
they're marching towards the end
like,
game, do you think Volume 9 will be the end of RWBY?
I don't think so, unless the books are the only thing we see of Vacuo. Cinder kind of outed that. She's like, what? Tyrion and Watts were supposed to be in Vacuo. Unless the books are Vacuo and they put out that Team Sun book, and then in there they meet the Maiden and they open the relic, and then they all go back after Atlas falls or whatever. They go back to the vault in Beacon. They go back to the Beacon vault, and then like Sun shows up like, I got the sword. And then they're like, yay, we're all back together again. Let's all group hug. And then all the bad guys show up.
They just travel to Vacuo, and there's just Sun sitting on a throne. He's just like, I have taken the sword. I have conquered the land.
It's kind of harm, right?
So unless they skip unless they skip Vacuo, I don't think Volume 9 will be, because didn't they already confirm that Volume 8 was going to take place in
I was saying
Atlas?
something like that.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything on that personally.
Or is that just a rumor?
Have you heard about the new book that's coming out? I think it's by the same writer, but it's Fairy Tales of Remnant.
Yeah.
I
It is by the
I
same
heard.
writer.
you know,
What do you think about
we're going to
that?
have to buy that just to see.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
Chump.
Well, hey, you know, I got a new smoking jacket that I've been meaning to break in, so that's going to be exciting.
But Naked Gun, man. I see him like, is that Naked Gun or Airplane? Something. Oh, a ticket, smoking or not smoking, and then it's like smoking ticket. I need to see it. Anyway, it has nothing to do with RWBY, I know, but just reminded me. Like,
Do you smoke after sex? One word.
I
Lubricant.
never looked.
All right. Well,
On that
thank
note,
you all so much for watching. A lovely shout out to every single one of our patrons, especially mine, who will show up on screen at some point very soon. Remember that for $1 or more, you get access to the Team Frostbite Discord server, The Tundra, which has me, Fatman, and Dashie as regular activants, and Britt, who's there once in a blue moon. We are very regularly active. We love interacting with every single one of you. And you can also ask questions of us during our reactions that we will answer on the fly. And additionally, be sure to follow us on Twitter so that you get news of our newest updates, our newest works, what we're working on currently, just the random thoughts that pops into our heads, fun stuff like that. And also be sure to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell for all the even reactions this volume. There will be one more with episode 12. And then go over to the Fat Man's channel and subscribe there and ring that bell for every odd episode. There are 2 more of those left with episodes 11 and 13, which will be out in the coming weeks. With all that said, thank you all. Oh, what? Do you have anything else?
Subscribe to my channel too, guys.
Oh yes, I keep forgetting you have a channel now too. Subscribe to Dashie's channel.
And we're probably going to be doing streams on there
Yes.
about the most recent episode.
Yes.
And we'll see if we can get Ninja on that one.
I know, right?
Get some of his thoughts.
But thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll catch you all on the flip side.
Bye.
Bye-bye.